What's up, you guys? We're back again today with the third part in this mini series, I guess you could call it. My top favorite tag teams. Let's see, I've done my top favorite male pro wrestlers, my top favorite female pro wrestlers. Now it's fitting to do my tag teams. It's going to go by my main four categories: WWE, TNA, ROH, and Lucha Underground for the tag teams of today. And then at the end, we're going to wrap it up with a top 5 any promotion, any era of all time. So let's get right on into it. Definitely not top. Next category, the first category, being Lucha Underground. We have 2 teams from this category. The number 2 team being Pentagon Jr. and Vampiro. I know, guys, what you're thinking. We don't even know yet. We left with a bit of a cliffhanger of the last season of Lucha Underground. With Vampiro joining Pentagon Jr., we don't know if he's going to be a manager, maybe a mentor type deal to Pentagon Jr. We don't know. Actually, if Vampiro may be coming back for a tag team with Pentagon Jr., but definitely excited to see how that unfolds. But as for now, I'm thinking they may do a tag team. Number 1 team being Jack Evans and Angelico, or Angelico. I guess the correct Spanish term would be Angelico. Definitely crazy team. I know for a fact Jack Evans is just off the wall. Angelico is no slouch himself either. So this would definitely be my number 1 team in Lucha Underground. Second category, Ring of Honor. There'll be 3 teams for this one. The number 3 team being The Kingdom. Matt Taven and Michael Bennett. Definitely been one of the top tier tag teams in Ring of Honor. And nationally, I should say. Definitely been, with Adam Cole leading them, used to be Matt Hardy. I mean, they definitely got a talented looking faction. Number 2 team from ROH, the Young Bucks, probably one of the top heel teams of today in the world. It's easy to say. Matt and Nick Jackson, they're really exciting in the ring, and they have a hell of a heel gimmick also to go along with it. So that brings me to my number 1 team in ROH, the Homestead team, if you will, the Ring of Honor team. Been there since day 1. The Briscoes, Mark and Jay. They're just they're the Ring of Honor team. I don't know what else I can say. The next category being TNA. There's only 2 teams from today from this category. Number 2, the current tag team champions, TNA tag team champions, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards, the Wolves. They're just phenomenal, some of the things I've seen these guys do in the ring. They're definitely a fan favorite. Definitely a fan favorite. So I'm a big fan of the Wolves. I actually got a couple chances to see them live, so they're really entertaining. They're very great in the ring. My number 1 team from TNA being the Hardys, Matt and Jeff, obviously. Definitely one of the pioneers of the tag team wrestling, if you will. I know JBL likes to call it the golden age of tag teams, or the golden age of wrestling. Definitely help showcase what tag teams can do, along with Edge and Christian and the Dudleys. The Hardys are right along in there. So now the last category before I get to my top 5 of all time, being the main promotion, the powerhouse of the industry, the WWE. There'll be 4 teams from the WWF today, actually. Number 4 being another team to help pioneer the tag team wrestling world. Arguably one of the best tag teams of all time, Devon and Bubba Ray, the Dudley Boys. Awesome TLC matches. They kind of, maybe, I don't know if you would actually say invent, but definitely widen the spectrum for tag teams. Number 3, the current World Tag Team Champions, The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Big E. I guess you can go ahead and throw Xavier in there too, because he's as much a part of their matches as they are. So, yeah, I mean, they're the World Tag Team Champions. What else can be said? They're very entertaining, very fresh for this day in WWE. Something new, something fresh. So I definitely love the New Day. Number 2, my number 2 team from WWE is actually a team that's been rising in coming years. I mean, they had a minor setback with one member being injured for around half a year. But I mean, they're right back in the title picture. The Usos, Jay and Jimmy, Rikishi's sons, have a lot of family other than their dad that's been involved with the company. Roman Reigns being one of them, past and present. So they definitely have it in their blood. They're very entertaining. That Samoan style mixed with the high flying lucha style kind of. So I definitely dig the Usos. And speaking of the lucha style, my number one team from TNA, the Lucha Dragons, Sin Cara and Kalisto. I just watched TLC, you guys, and the Lucha Dragons just went off, even though they didn't win. I mean, I hated that. But the Lucha Dragons are definitely my number one team in WWE today. Now onto my top 5 list of tag teams, my favorite tag teams of all time, any promotion, any era. Here we go. Number 5, a team from the heydays of TNA, probably one of the most dominant teams in TNA history, America's Most Wanted. James Storm and Chris Harris. Yes, I could have said Beer Money. But honestly, I know Chris Harris has fell off a bit, but I liked him a lot better than Bobby Roode, to be honest. So number 5 on this list is going to be AMW from TNA. Number 4 being the third team. I left out one earlier. Now I got to put them in as one of my favorites of all time. Edge and Christian, another pioneer in the TLC match in the tag team world. So Edge and Christian, definitely very entertaining. Got the talent in the ring to go along with it. My number 3 team being these next 2 teams, number 3 and number 2, actually they seem like they were kind of thrown together at the time, but they worked, and they actually had both teams had a pretty lengthy run. Number 3, Rob Van Dam and Kane. That team was just awesome, you guys. The sheer power of Kane meeting the sheer athleticism and high flying of Rob Van Dam. It was just such a great combo for me. They were definitely very entertaining backstage too as well. Number 2, another Rob Van Dam team with Booker T. They definitely held the tag titles a time or two, and they were, I mean, it's Rob Van Dam and Booker T. You know they're going to be a hell of a team in the ring. My number 1 team of all time, any era, any promotion, the Hardys again. Matt and Jeff. Definitely since I've grew up, I started watching wrestling around the age of 5, 6, literally. So right around the time that I've been a fan and been alive is the span that the Hardys have grown and matured. So I guess I haven't grew up with them, but I've grew up watching them progress. And they've just been the team that's been most captivating to me throughout my whole life, throughout my whole career of being a wrestling fan. So my number 1 team was definitely going to be Matt and Jeff, the Hardys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, give it a like, the like button a super kick, and be sure to share it to Twitter, Facebook, anywhere, so some other wrestling fan may be able to see. Any comments, questions, you can always throw them below, or my personal Facebook page is facebook.com/aaron.stroud.98. My Facebook wrestling community fan site is Aftershock, the World of Wrestling. As always, you guys, we'll see you next time. Stay easy.